Good morning. This is Molly Young. Welcome to my page. If you're here now, you are catching the replay. So if you want to hit hashtag replay, I would love to know that you stopped by. We're going to wait for our friends to get on. So when we go down to the desktop is when we'll be starting the project. So I'm just waiting for some eyeballs. We got some people coming in now. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, Molly. Just waiting for a few others. How are you, Mal? Good morning, Robin. I'm just going to give it one more minute and then we're going to get started. Good. I am not seeing any more eyeballs, so I think I'm just going to get started. Um, Let me move my camera over and see if it is going to be in the right where I need it. Okay. So guys, this is an idea I got from Treasure Books on YouTube. I love her stuff. I saw this and I'm like, I have to make it. And then I'm like, I have to share this with all my friends. So, I, it's, she calls it a tea bag packet. I don't know if it could be more of a folio, but basically you open it up and then you've got pockets in here on both sides. You could sew a journal in. I didn't finish the inside. I thought it looked pretty by itself, and I didn't feel I needed to. I did use two-sided paper for this. Um, but we're gonna, yep, I was going to do Christmas today, but I couldn't find any. Well, I have paper that I like. I just, um, I don't know. I couldn't dive in, but I've already started mine. So, I'm actually this week going to be getting back to it, probably on Friday, the night before Christmas. My Golden Book one, Mel, that's the one I started. So, anyway, so this is what we're going to make today. Okay. And, the only, I made a couple errors. This is the first one I've ever done after watching the video, but I think, I know where I made my mistakes, how to make them better. The hardest part here is to try and get your, brad centered. I'm off center a little bit here, but I thought these were so darn cute and a perfect project for the time frames that we have. So, let me share with you. I have this Mama Jama from Hobby Lobby of scrapbook paper, and you can use one-sided paper. If I would have preferred to use two-sided paper, I used two-sided paper this morning, but you don't have to. So we'll just work around that. But this is the book I have. It's called Catherine. I mean, this is huge. There's so much. Ooh, wait a minute. I might have just found something better than what I have. Okay. I love every single print in here, and look, it has the foil on it. Hi, Lori. Come on in, my friend. Guys, I'm so unsure. Maybe I'm changing my mind again. So we're going to decorate the front. So basically you take a different print on the front. So I'm looking for contrast. Good morning, Debbie. I'm looking for something with some more contrast on the front than what I did in my practice one. So that's kind of where I don't want to say I'm struggling. I'm struggling with making a decision because then I have this one we could put on the front. Oh boy. um, but I don't know if it's enough contrast. So why don't we just do the background and go from there? And then I'll make some decisions. Okay. So let me move a couple things out of the way. Okay. This is very simple, very easy. I did one this morning by memory. And then I knew where I had made a mistake. So I'm hopefully not going to make that this time, but we'll see. I'm going to try and stay in the camera as much as possible for you. So the way to start this one is to fold. Um, is Boy, my camera's in a bad spot today. Fold as straight as you can in half. And I'm going to burnish. I am using this is a cardstock, so I'm not sure. The other paper I used this morning was a little bit thinner. And so this is going to get interesting with a cardstock because I've heard it can be a little bit more challenging. All right, now we're going to flip it over and we're going to measure 6 inches from this corner here. And okay, this is a 12 by 12. You can do an 8 by 8, a 6 by 6, a 4 by 4. If you do that, you divide your paper size in its original size, so by 2. So if I was working on an 8 by 8, I would measure in 4 inches, not 6. And then same thing here. And we're going on the opposite side. And you're not going to see these pencil marks, so use whatever you want. That's going to make it easy to see. Now, you need to fold these in. So use your fingernail or a ruler to help you with where you need to crease. Oh my gosh, I already screwed up. Wrong side. I need to go. It's okay. It's not the worst mistake. At least I caught it early enough I could fix it. I'm sorry. You're going right along the line that you have here. Doy. It's only the second time I made one of these. Well, and the fact I'm not alive. And it's me. Always have to make a mistake. Okay, let's try this again. So you want to fold in on that mark, and you want to meet this line and where you previously creased. Those need to be parallel to each other. Or not parallel. They need to line up with each other. Parallel side to side. Okay? Then you want to do the same thing on this side. And just make sure you're getting it lined up with your previous score mark. Okay. So then you need to come in and like you're going to have an issue here, right? So you're going to need to cut off the inside here. And you're going to need to kind of go at an angle and then another angle. They don't have to be even because nobody's going to see this. You just want to make sure you got enough off so it folds. You can already see this coming together. You're welcome, Lori. Hi, Kathy. Um, so then we have this guy, right? So we need to do the same thing over here. And I'm not just folding it because I don't want to add to the bulk of this, especially because this is cardstock. All right, so then I'm going to trim. Now this is the one you need to cut really straight, if at all possible. Which I think I managed, I think. Hoping you can see my desk a little better. I am using my regular phone that's newer rather than my old one, which I was watching replays thinking it was, I'm a little crooked. It was everything was looking a little blurry, fuzzy, not it looked like low resolution. All right, so then you can see what's happening here. This is going to be the inside. And then you want to go back and fold this down, and this is going to be the outside of the packet. Please don't kick me off. Okay. I'm nervous because I usually don't use my regular phone on here, and I don't want a message or a call to kick me off. Okay, so then we want it to look, okay, so this is our original one. This is the one from this morning. So we want it to look like a tea bag, right? At the top, or a tag. Same concept. So then we need to decide where we want that to be. And I want to go right about here. So you're going to pick up both pieces. You do you wherever you want to fold down to. Okay. And then you come back inside and you fold it over backwards. Now, if you were using if you were using a two-sided sheet, you wouldn't have the white in the background. But I'm okay with it. Okay. Now, we have this all done, but we need to take it back apart. And I'm going to actually use black and not brown, because I think black will have a deeper effect with this, but we need to go around all the edges. So this might get boring for a minute. I was wondering how much this would show up, and it's definitely showing up. It's very awkward to work with. I guess those don't really matter. I'm going to hit this one again. I want to get some more ink on here. This is the prettiest paper. Like I said, I was gonna do Christmas because this would be perfect for Christmas. You could put hot chocolate and a candy cane in it, and this also will be 5 inches if you're using a 12 by 12 when all is said and done. And so, you would, be able to fit a card in it. So it'd make a great, great gift. Now I'm just going around after it's folded, going around the folded edges to distress those. Now here's the thing. If I would have folded this perfectly, well, I guess it is. You just shouldn't see any white up here. I'm a little off, but not enough that I'm going to go in. Because you can go in and trim it. Well, this doesn't look right. I made a boo-boo. I need to try and fix this. Hold on. I'm just rolling with it here. Where's my pencil? I need this to be... Oh, I can't see through this. Let me try to go through the paper so I have a line on the other side. I do not know how I didn't end up even. I have no idea. Because it's even in here. I love this paper too. Good morning, Carol. Hey, Lolly. Thank you, Molly. I am very confused because I followed everything. I went 6 inches and 6 inches. Go figure. The one I did this morning came out perfect. See how uneven this is? I need to fix it. So let me see if I can give myself a bit of a template here. I have to go on this side to get a mirror image. Well, that's what we're all here for, to watch me screw up every time. Oh, wow. You know what I always say? If you're going to cry over a piece of paper, this isn't for you. I'm going to leave this because this is just an example. I measured the inside. It looks even in here. So I'm not real sure, but I'm kind of afraid. It is only paper. But I mean, it's really bothering me that only off by about this much. If I make it worse, I make it worse, you guys. It's better. I'm sure it's not perfect, but it's better. Sorry about that. Hey, come watch me do something that I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, well, not too bad for only the second try. All right, so then from here, we can start gluing. Oh, have you? Yeah, I was just measuring. All right, so we need to start gluing these guys down. But this one goes on the inside. Now, what I learned from treasure books, where I learned this from, is that you only want to glue on this very edge and only a little bit in, like, I think I went a little bit more than an inch because it's going to add to the bulk at the bottom. No other glue is needed. And then you want to fold it. And you want to make sure you do not leave it open while your glue dries. That was a very important statement that she said during it. The one I did this morning, I used a tape runner. Look, I got the Scotch one. I don't know if we'll be friends any better than the other ones I've tried, but yeah, so I'm still crooked. Oh wow. We're just gonna roll with it. You get the gist. All the measurements I gave you are exact. The one I did this morning came out perfectly fine. So I don't know. Yes, I am excited for tomorrow, Lolly. You scared me this morning, though. I'm like, well, I'm going live at 10 o'clock anyway, so if something got screwed up, I'll still be here. um, yeah, let me hit the back of this. I don't like this shadow here. Okay. Now, we glued that down, and we need to glue down these. And I am using I'm using a pretty background, but I'm using more of a less busy background, if you will. Because darn, I was gonna bring down a paper towel and I forgot. Because we're gonna decorate the front next. Just make sure that everything's glued really good. Now you have your pockets. Like I said, I'm gonna do some of these for Christmas, I think. God, this is just bugging me like there's no tomorrow, but what are you gonna do? All right, so now what? Now we're gonna work on the front. Maybe this will go better. So I have a couple options here for the front. And I just can't make a decision. But I think we're going to go with this one. Because I can ink around the edges. Or should I do the pink? See, I can't decide. The pink gives us more contrast, for sure. Well, let's go with the pink. Why not? All right. So this should be about 5 inches. It is, well, let me measure it where I didn't cut crooked. It's about 4 3/4 of an inch. So I'm gonna cut. Now we need to trim the front to match. Wait, I gotta measure one more thing. So if I do 4 3/4, I'm gonna cut it 4.25 inches. And then the height of it Uh-oh, I'm gonna need a bigger ruler. Squeeze me is exactly 7. So that means I'm going to cut 4.25 by taking a 1/2 inch off, so I have a 1/4 inch around. So that would be 6.5 inches. So 4.25 by 6.5 is what I'm going to cut this sheet at. Sorry, there was no measurements in the tutorial. I was trying to figure it out on my own. Okay. I'm going to go this way. And we're going to do 4 4.25. We're going to save this because we might use it on the inside or somewhere else. Did I do this right? Yeah, 6.5. Okay. Okay, now that's going to look so pretty on there. I'm glad I went with the pink. Now because my corners are not even, Steven, I have to do this way. But I would have said if they were even, cut one corner, take the corner here, cut one corner, take that corner. This is where you're going to see how uneven it is. Flip it up over here. Look, they match up. I don't know why it's looking crooked to me. I don't know what I did. I don't know. We don't care. What's done is done. Okay, so we're going to distress this. That's why I didn't care if I had pencil marks on here, because I knew I was going to go over it. FYI. If not, flip it upside down and do it that way, if you're worried about that. Okie dokie, smokies. So then, if you are a sewer, this is where I would take this piece and this piece only, and I would do a zigzag stitch around the border. It looks beautiful. My sewing machine is in the closet. I don't have room for my sewing machine, and my sewing machine and well, let's say I have a lead foot, and so I get tangled up a lot in it, and knots and nasty stuff happens. So I'm not going to be sewing this, but I don't think you have to either. I'm not a sewer and I'm not going to. All right, so then we want to glue this whole thing on here. I am using Fabri-Tac. You can use whatever glue you want. I just like this, and I like to not use a water-based glue when I'm working with paper because it does not warp on me or wrinkle. I need a scrap piece of paper. I'm just going to use my fingers. If you can use the back of a plastic spoon, If you want to spread it out, I'm just going around the edges to make sure all of my edges are covered. It's already starting to dry. I need to speed things up here. Okay. Now, centering it is another feat in itself. I think this looks good enough for me. Sewing isn't for sissies. Well, I'm a sissy. I used to do it all the time. I was never any good at it, and I wanted to be. I wanted to be really good at it. I had so many ideas to do, but nope. All right. So this is exactly what we want this to look like so far, right? And then we have our two pockets and we left this closed. So, um, so yeah, this is just really coming along. Okay, now we're going to work on this part and the tag and how to sew it in. Okay? There is sewing involved, but it's so easy, so um please don't not want to attack this because it's really not that hard. Okay. Now, we are going to set this aside, and I have this really old book. I bought this for myself probably 25 or 30 years ago. Live Rich, Everything You Need to Know to Be Your Own Boss, Whoever You Work For. And I did really well until I lost my job, but that was out of my control from things that go on in a company and I mean, there's only so much I can do. So anyway, I think it's time to say goodbye to this guy, and he's nice and yellow, and he's got some really nice pages with heavy copy on it. So I need 4 pages, and then I'll show you. Here's another goodie. Okay, then your other pages don't matter. But you need 4 pages. This is very thin paper. I'm going to say we're going to do 3. We're going to glue 3 pages together. Now, the important thing to remember is the one that you want on top. So I want this one on top. Well, wait. Yeah, it doesn't matter. What we're trying to do is just add a little beef to this. You could use you could glue it to some cardstock if you want, but I'm going to actually go with the recommendation that I learned on the treasure books video that I watched. Okay. So you don't want to use a tape runner on this because it all needs to be glued. Well, this is going to take a minute. And you don't need to hit the edges on these because we're going to be cutting off the edges because the only thing we want is the copy in the middle. Oh, this doesn't matter. This side matters. Okay. This still feels pretty thin to me. And I have these tags here. All right, plan B. I'm going to glue this on to here because just glue as many pieces of paper as you think you need, but I have this tag sitting right here. Or just use a piece of cardstock. Hopefully, I'm looking through here. Hopefully this is a good spot on the back. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to cut. This is going to be for our circle. Oh, that was dumb. I glued it to the. I glued it to the second piece of paper. Doy. Okay, I think it's still sticky enough. And then, nope, it's not. Okay. So this one's going to be a 1-inch circle. Let me do it this way. This is also a nice project that you could that you could do in mass production. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Because there's something else we got to do. So I'm going to take, we had some leftover paper here. So I don't know. Oh, this is a 1-inch circle. And then I'm going to cut out a flower here on, I don't know. This is probably a 1/2 inch. Oh, it's 3/4 of an inch. All right. You don't have to do this step. You can just use the book page. I'm just trying to dial this up a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my ink again. Oh, I hope this isn't too big. And I'm going to ink around those sides. I'm going to ink around this one. The reason we wanted this thicker is because we're going to be putting that your thread around it. Now I'm using a very heavy, like what I would use in bookbinding. It might be a little bit heavier than from what I did this morning than what I'd typically prefer, but it's what I have. And it's in the color that I want. Okay. So I just glued that on right into the center. Now, we still have more to do. These are the 3 we put together. I'm not so particular that these aren't as heavy as the one we're going to wrap the thread around. So I think I have a pretty good thickness here. We're also going to be folding it in half. So we're going to fold it in half. And then you can make your tag whatever size you want. From what I learned, again, from, God, I don't know her name, from Treasure Books. Give credit where credit's due. Okay. We need this to be open because we're going to have to glue the thread in between. So we need to make our guy. So I'm going to go 1.5 inches wide. Oh, I got a glare. I can't see. 1.5 inches wide. Let me just see this. by, I think I'm going to do 2 inches tall and see what that looks like. And I'm just going to try and cut. Oh, no, I can't do it that way. Well, wait. We can. I just need to move my fold. Because you want your bottom part to be on the fold. Yeah. Uh-huh. And I'm just going to go, like I said, right inside of those lines so I don't get any pencil marks. Trim up this side so that they're even. And then you want to cut your corner to wherever you think you want. And then you take that corner. Well, it's going to be a little dramatic. And you hold it. It's really hard because this is so small. But you hold it over here on this side. And then you cut so that everybody's the same. This one, it still doesn't look the same. Oh, yeah, it does. It's the way the words are laying. Yeah, it matches up. But you don't glue this shut yet because we have to wait until we get our thread through here. Okay. Small scissors, glue for right now. Need a drink. I ate a salty dinner last night. Okay. So we want this. We want to find a place for this. And I kind of like it right here. So I'm going to glue it on. I'm going out of steps a little bit from how No. Get the glue off. You don't glue it. I was going to do a second one before I met with you guys. You don't want to glue it. Because the string has to go around it. We're going to use brads. Now, you can buy, like, I think these are from Walmart. Just regular brads. But I ordered off of Amazon a while back some of these. And they're all different colors. But I actually kind of like the one that's just the crystal color. All right. So then what you do is you take both sides. And then you need your pokey tool, but you don't want a really big one. You want to keep your hole as small as possible. This is where I kind of messed up last time because you have to find the center. Okay, maybe this will help me more this time. And then you go through. Don't poke your finger on the other side. You go through every single layer that you have. I'm not through the back yet. But you want to use your small pokey tool. And you'll see why in a second. All right, so now at this point, we can go ahead and put the brad through here. And the brad through here. Voila. Then you just, we're going to cover this up. And you just put it down. You can hardly even see that because it's silver. All right, so that's what the outside so far is going to look like. And you can go higher or lower or just wherever you're comfortable. Okay, so then this is where we're going to get our thread and needle out. And I don't know how much to tell you to cut because I'm just eyeballing and I always like to cut a little bit more than what I think I need. I don't know that I got this stuff off of Amazon forever ago and I use it for bookbinding. You don't want a little thread like you would use for sewing because it's not heavy enough and it will break. You want something a little bit stronger. Hi, Carrie. Oh, well, you'll see mistakes along the way. That is guaranteed, my friend. All right. Where's my needle? Thanks for stopping by, though. I love Carrie. We tend to miss each other, though. Hanging with Mama Hall, you guys. She is a good one to watch. And her name is Carrie. And I'm having a problem with threading my needle. Like, who doesn't? And my reading glasses are upstairs. Okay, there we go. All right, then you go to the other end and you tie a couple knots in it because you don't want it to go through the back. That's why we were making that hole as small as could be. Make sure your knots double up right over on top of each other. Okay, hopefully this will not go through. Okay. 'Cause I need to respond to my husband. Hold on. Because my phone's in the thing. Well, that makes my job easier. Oh, not you, him. Okay. All right, sorry. So then what you do is you start from this back side. Now, see, my needle's kind of big, so I don't know if I have enough of a knot here, but we're going to try it. And then you go through all the way to your knot, and then, oh, good, he's not going through. And don't pull it too tight, but you do need to go back through here a few times. So you're going to go back in, loop it around to the top. You guys see? I'm just looping it back through. I'm going to do it twice. And then a third time. And then when you get to your third time, just make them straight or as not straight as you want them. Okay, then when you get to your third time, you go back under here and you want to make let me make sure this is all swirling up on me. You want to make a knot. So you got to go back through and make yourself a knot at the top. And then do one more just so it stays, or you can glue it. Underneath these, up through the top, in through the center, and make yourself a knot. Okay, so that's how the back looks. That is how we teach. She's got that right. I'm going to trim this just so, it's just a little bit of an end on it. One of my guys isn't tight enough. Okay. All right, so I messed up because I didn't check my inside and I have a little bit of a loop here. So it's just going to stay as it is. And then don't cut this off. Okay, you can put your needle away now. Don't just throw it to the side, put it away. I have a little magnet over here for mine because I've lost mine embarrassingly. All right, and then, okay, And then you come around and you want to go around once. I do mine once. And then you want to figure out where you want your little tea bag. Oh, I didn't distress this. Hold on, please. Almost forgot. I think I still have enough on here. Yeah. Okay. And then one side's going to be upside down. So make sure where it's landing, how, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. But if you want it down like about right here, then that's where you want to cut your thread. Potentially. And then all you do is glue it in here. You just go down to the bottom where you want it. And you're going to glue everybody and their brother together now. Let's put him down first. Right down the center. Scrap piece of paper, because you do not want your glue coming out on top of your piece. And because it's tied, you can't move it off to the side. Oh, thank you, Carrie. Hey, Carol. I'm sorry if I missed you. Thought I said hi to you. Maybe I didn't. So that's what the front looks like. Now you can deck this out however you want. One of the things that I liked from the tutorial that I watched is she had like French vintage postcards, and they looked like little advertisements in French, and they were so cool. And they really made her piece come to life. I also really like that she sewed around the edges with the zigzag. It adds a lot. Oh, sorry, I'm out of the camera. It just adds a lot to it. So maybe I shouldn't have used this. There's such a glare. Okay, welcome. Sorry. I was like, did I not? So, all right. So then we have to think about if we want to do anything on the inside. Now, quite frankly, if you don't have to do anything on the inside. I kind of like them plain. Um, you can cover up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what I would do in here. Um, I mean, we could mimic what we did. Could definitely mimic what we did on the front. I want to see if I can feel this paper behind here, which I can. Let's see what this looks like. See if we like her or not. And again, I'm going to go right inside that pencil line, which can also be erased. I do not have my eraser right here. There's one down here somewhere. Somewhere. Well, that won't work. I need to cut it. What's wrong with my brain today, you guys? Oh, no. But if I cut it here, it won't match up over here. Actually, this looks really cool. We're going to do this. Wait, let me cut out another one and then we'll distress both of them together. We could even make this another pocket, you guys. Want to do that? Okay. Lots of scraps. I'm going to have to cut off the sides. It looks so pretty. I guess I should have kept it whole. But maybe we'll put something in the middle here. Well, let's distress it. I love how that looks. It's supposed to rain maybe this afternoon, but they're not 100% sure. They said some people will get rain and some people won't. I'm like, well, that's not very accurate. I had my grandson coming over and we were going to hit the pool this afternoon, but if it rains, we'll be inside watching his dumb YouTube. Because I can't say no. I mean, I monitor what he's watching and everything, but. Okay. Yeah, this really needed black, not brown. That's because it, like, I used brown on this one, and it really made, it was so sweet. This is like more of a romantic kind of look and feel. Heads up, your paper, if it's not a pattern, will be upside down on the back. So you may not want to use something with words. I only used my words on the front. Just a forewarning there. I tend to make that mistake all the time. So I just need to clip this one. No. My gosh, something just fell on my desk and I have no idea how or what. None. Right inside of here again. Let's see if this. I think I'm going to glue this down and then cut off any excess. Because I still have some. Boy, I'm like, what's the saying? Par for the course today. Yeah, we'll just trim it. We'll glue it down and then we'll trim it. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm trying to keep it up, right side up. You could use your tape runner for this. Or not. They're not going to both have even corners, but I mean, at this point in the game. I think that looks so pretty. Have you? It has been so beautiful here. We've been really lucky. I'm just going to glue this one down too. Oh my gosh. So those of you that know, I have this big, huge box underneath my desk that I keep all of my Ampheria, rhinestones, all that kind of stuff in. Came down here this morning, the side of it collapsed and it's all over my floor under my feet. I picked up most of it, but I have to get another box and transfer everything. And it was so handy being right here. But yeah, the whole side totally collapsed. I'm like, well, I guess if I wanted to know how much was too much, I just figured that out. These are kind of sideways, but see, this is why the two-sided paper would have looked even better. But I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind the white, especially if you're going to be putting stuff in here. So from here, guys, because we're going to get done here. From here, what I would do is continue to embellish however you want. I had some rhinestones I was gonna probably put down here, but I don't know if it's too much. So now I need to walk away from this. I mean, if we wanted to, my little piece. So I was just thinking, the only other thing I would probably do that we're going to do right now. Oh gosh, bent my paper. Is we're going to cover up this. It doesn't, I don't like that. We're not going to do that. We're just not going to do it on any side. Now I got to leave this open so it doesn't glue shut. Okay, scratch that. I guess if you have something else, you could cover it up with it. But this is too thin. Unless I put a piece of foam tape behind it, but I don't want to do that now. Or you could even take one of your corners you cut off. That would look pretty right there. But anyway, yeah, so I feel like I also might add something down here, but I'm happy with it. I'm really happy with it. So maybe you guys learned something and learned what not to do. But it's really an easy project. You just have to do it a couple times. And my first one came out perfectly fine. On my first one though, I cut off instead of folding down the inside, I accidentally cut it off. Thank you, Carrie. I like it too. These are going to be fun. And I'm going to make some for Christmas. And again, you can go ahead and put like, yeah, I cut these off the first time I did it instead of folding them down. I got that right this time. But I mean, you do you, but at Christmas time, you can put hot cocoa in here. You can put a candy cane in here. And there's even room for a card because you do have almost 5 inches here. I think we measured it 4 3/4 wide. It's pretty big. And then again, you want to make smaller ones, do an 8x8, do a 6x6, do a 4x4 to get a little teeny tiny one. And you could put tea bags in them if you do a smaller size. So I need some glue on here, but yeah, I'll do that later. Thank you, Carol. So yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed what we did today. I was excited to do it with you. I'm excited to do more and get out my Christmas prints to do it. I just have to clean up some other stuff. I will be on tomorrow in Lolly's VIP, and I will be on my main page, and she's just going to share me in there. So I will be on at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning again. And I don't know what we're doing, and it might even be some Christmas stuff, but I'm not sure yet. I have to go get my inspiration today and prepare for it before tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So, but I really wanted, I almost saved this one for tomorrow, but I wanted to come on today because, I mean, what else am I going to do? So, you guys have a wonderful day. And I appreciate you so much for hopping on and joining me today. Okay. You guys have a great one. Bye.